Welcome back, guys. This is episode 8 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you like the video, feel free to check out some of the older ones in the series. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. So just to hop into episode 8, we're currently looking at the Bradley-Stoke to Sutton rail line. And it's something that we did a few episodes back, is put in this rail line. So you're probably kind of wondering, why we're circling back to it. And the reason is, if we look at this line, we've got 2 trains on it with a capacity of 68. So they're bouncing back and forth between Sutton and Bradley-Stoke, a good connecting line. So 68 capacity. If we look at these stations, we've got 143 people waiting at Ulverston, and we've got 115 waiting at Tetford. Waiting at Sutton to go down to Tetford. 151 wanting to go back up towards Bradley. So these 2 trains that are running on this line, if you look where this line runs, is just not at all sufficient to what we want. So right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another train. And then I'm probably going to swap these trains out. And I think it's finally time that we bring in the Flying Scotsman. I would love to. Let's just see how this line is performing. So if we find our Bradley-Tetford line. So it's making decent money. The frequency is not great. It'll get a little bit better with that 3rd train. I'll add a 4th one on. I just don't know if we can go with the Flying Scotsman quite yet. It's a really expensive train. Like, we could go with the A35. One thing to consider is we don't have... Our max speed for our passenger cars is 62 miles an hour. The A35 will get to 62. The Flying Scotsman is a lot more powerful and can get up to 75, but we just can't take advantage of that speed right now. So I'll probably go with A35s and then maybe 6 rail cars. It's going to cost us $20 million to replace those. And we'll go with a nice high capacity just because this runs really close to a lot of the existing lines. And you can see that didn't even clear the station with the added capacity. So we're going to get a 4th train onto this line just once this guy spreads out a little bit and works his way down, down a little bit further. So I just wanted to address that, and we're seeing pretty good passenger numbers on a lot of these lines. 42, 60. That's the bus station. 15. Oh, excellent. So we've got the single unit little commuter car. That's actually awesome because there are some short little connections that we could make with rail. Like, I think that those would be really nice to just bounce between these 3. And if we have time in this episode, we'll go ahead and get to that at the end. But there are a couple things that I wanted to get done in this episode. So let's just talk about kind of what that is. We have airfields, and I don't think we really have a good use for cargo air at this point. But I would love to put in a little passenger airstrip right here that can serve Sturbridge and Tetford, and also, Sutton via the rail line can connect in. Reepham can come down and connect in. We might even want to... I'm debating putting like a little station here, but I don't think it's necessary. I'll just put in a bus line from Tetford and Sturbridge. And then putting another airfield right up here. So we can bus into Hornsey and Haywards Heath. I just think it would be fun, and I think it would get use. It's a good connection. There's really no way. Think about it. If you lived in Sturbridge and you wanted to get all the way up to, Haywards Heath, how are you going to do it? You could take the train all the way over to Northam, catch the bus up to Bradley-Stoke, take the train up to Bodmin, take a bus to Market Bosworth to Hornsey to Hayward's Heath. That's kind of ridiculous. You could go, you know, take the train up to Tetford, switch over, again, all the way over to, you know, Bradley Stoke, and then the bus. It's just kind of, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. So I think it would be cool to get a little passenger airfield in here. And, you know, we haven't done anything with planes yet, so I think it would be a fun thing to do. So generally, it's going up in this direction. And I think we'll probably go ahead and put it somewhere in the middle. If we go into our terrain, this is generally a flat area, so maybe right here. And then if we come in and just kind of smooth out this area, maybe flatten it a little bit, just to get good space for our aircraft. Smooth that out. And then I'm going to come in here to the paint tools. We want our eraser, and I'm actually just going to clear a lot of the foliage around here. Just so that it's a bit more, you know, realistic. An airfield would generally have, you know, I'll clear out a good space for these aircraft to come in and then again to take off. And that should be good. They don't actually interfere with the aircraft, you know, in the sense of the game. But I just think it looks a little bit nicer to kind of have that clear area. And you can see now we've got our connection. I'll use bus lanes. And I'll probably put in, we haven't used these yet, but I'll probably put in a bus terminal with maybe two stations, and you can see there's the roadway connection. So we're going to kind of want to line up with that. So maybe if I start here and then expand this out a little bit. Let's see, that should line up pretty good. It's not close enough, so I'll just sneak it a little bit closer. Like right there. And now we'll go ahead and... So now that's made a connection there. Pretty in line. I like that. That'll work. We'll go ahead and delete this street access. Make it a nice one-way for our turnaround for our buses. We'll add in these bus stops, and if you go into your roads and you go to your tools, you can actually, oh, we can't actually turn those off yet. So I wanted to turn off this street light, but we haven't leveled up enough to have that ability, and that's fine. We'll get to it. You know, we'll get to it eventually. And now I'm gonna bring this road down. Actually, let's go ahead and add this road in first. So I'm gonna back this off. Probably just back this all the way so that we don't have, you know, an accurate crossing at that road. And I'm going to take this whole road away because we're going to sneak, you know, we're going to sneak a 4-lane road with bus lanes right along mirroring this road, and then probably connect right into this road right here. So if we go back, we want the ones with the trees so that it can develop, the city can develop on it. And then I'll switch over to this. And now we'll have a nice bridge here. And we'll run this road just generally along this rail line. And this is what we're going to use for our bus lanes. And I actually might just connect it right in there. That's actually not a bad place to connect. It will probably get overwhelmed with traffic as we get into this. And then one thing that I also might do, because we're going to have a pair of stops here, is actually add in a a bus transfer right here. That's something that we could do. I don't know, actually. Do I just want them to use this stop? Maybe. Because they could come in, and maybe I'll put a stop on the opposite side of the street. So if I put a bus stop maybe right there, and now they could come in and kind of loop up and around and then leave. And now we're going to also need this street coming in, and we'll kind of tee in. Just trying to be conscious of that terrain. I don't really mind if passenger roads kind of just smooth this out a little bit. I also went through after the last episode and smoothed out a lot of the terrain along a lot of our routes, just to make it look a little bit cleaner. Now that we have a pretty good amount of money. And I'll actually go ahead and... We've still got some loan, so I'll just pay that all the way down so that we're not paying for it. We shouldn't need to take out much loan anymore. And I'll probably use this road right here and then have them maybe loop back around here. So I imagine I will need several waypoints to be able to make that work. So I'll just add those in now. So now if we go back and we find here, so we're going to want a stop here, going here, and then looping all the way back out and around and out of town. We'll make this maybe a dark green color. And this will be a bus from Thetford to the Thetford Airport bus route. And now we'll need another line coming from the airport on the second platform, coming to this stop. We'll need a little waypoint to get them to cut through here. And we will just go ahead and upgrade this road. Maybe all of these roads. And after here, we will have them hit that. And we'll use that stop. Maybe we'll make this a teal color. And this will be a bus route from Sturbridge to the airport. So now we should have both of our bus routes here now, and they will loop in at this passenger airfield. So now that that's set up, let's go up here and let's look at our terrain view. And I'll probably put bus routes coming from Haywards Heath and Hornsey. So maybe like an airfield like generally here would probably work. Maybe there. And now let's go into our terrain and smooth out a nice area for this airfield. Or flatten out, rather. We'll probably need a bit more space over here. I'll just speed this up a little bit more so that we get some money going. And while we're waiting, I'm going to just clear out again a lot of this foliage and stuff around here just to give them a nice, a nice area to land. And we'll probably come through later on once we, upgrade to, higher capacity aircraft and larger airfields and stuff. And we'll have to rework a lot of this. But for now, this will work great. So now we're going to put in a nice straight road with bus lanes. You see we have that connection here. And now, again, we're going to want a bus terminal with 2 stations. We'll get it nice and close. We will add in maybe 2 platforms. And now we're going to need to add in our one-way streets. No bus lanes on these. It's not necessary. The only things using this road are going to be buses. And now we're going to need to make a connection into here. So I'll probably go ahead and upgrade this road with trees and bus lanes. So we'll connect in there. And then for here, I'll probably go ahead and delete this road and then actually repurpose it as our connection road. So if I go ahead and upgrade with no bus lanes, this portion of road, probably actually, and now if we take a road here with bus lanes, I'll go ahead and put this road back in. Now we'll loop in like that. Now we'll shoot off down this way. Just trying to see what our terrain is doing, trying not to completely destroy it. We'll come back through here and just smooth some of this out, spend just a boatload of money on landscaping. I really want stuff to look nice. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and upgrade this road. So here it will have bus lanes, but no trees so that they won't develop on it, at least for now. And then I'll upgrade straight through here. And I wonder why construction is not possible. What doesn't it like? It doesn't like this either. Maybe if I delete that road. Yep, so now it will let me. And now we're just gonna have to go back in and try and make this connection. Yeah, it doesn't like it. I think it's probably that's so close is why it doesn't like it. So I'll just go back in and add this road depot back in now that we've changed that up. So when they're coming into the city, we want them to, maybe we'll put a bus stop on the opposite side of the street for now. And we'll have them loop maybe all the way down here and out of the city. So if we do that, so if we put a stop here and have them waypoint up and out of the city. Is this the way that we want it? Which way is this? If we have them go up here. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, that's fine. They'll cross over here. It's not the end of the world. We'll make that kind of this dark teal color. And this will be our bus route from Hornsey to the airport. And now we're going to need to do the same thing over here. So let's see what we've got. We've got a single bus stop. Again, I'll probably put another one directly opposite it so that they can, not bunch up too badly. And if we add a stop here, and then down here at the second station, so that we're not sharing all the stops, how's this going to work? That looks perfect. Yeah, that'll work. So this will be a bus stop, Hayward's Heath to the airport, I believe. Yeah, Hayward's Heath. Okay, so now we've got all of this, and you can actually see that these buses have altered their route. So they are now using this road because it's much faster. And I wonder if passengers are going to do the same thing. They probably are. No. No, only the buses. I wonder if that's because it has bus priority lanes, and that's kind of what they see as, you know, being faster. I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade this road so it's a little bit faster to try and actually keep passengers off of this. So the buses will use this road. And now let's go ahead and get some buses on some of these routes. So I'm actually going to put a road depot. I guess it doesn't actually matter. I mean, they'll spread themselves out. So if I go into passenger and I want maybe 4 buses on high maintenance, and we will add them to the Hayward Airport line. And now we want to do the same thing down here. This is going to be a teal color. So we'll get maybe 4 buses, and we will add them onto this teal line. And now if we go all the way back down to this airport, we're going to need to do the same thing. So if we get 4 buses with high maintenance, and we put them on the Sturbridge Airport line, and now we'll do the same thing one last time over here. 4 buses, high maintenance, green color, onto the Tetford Airport line. So now we have buses on both of those lines, and we should have buses on both of these lines also. We do. And you can see a lot of these buses, they came up here to start for one reason or another. Quick autosave. So now we need to establish the line from this airport coming all the way down here. And one thing that you want to keep in mind when you're placing airports, this area is going to be extremely affected by emissions. So noise, pollution, whatever it is. Once they reach cruising altitude, so like generally this route, if I change the color here, maybe to dark red, a little lighter red. If you look here, this line is running over Hayward's Heath, but it's already reached generally cruising altitude, so it's not going to affect Hayward's Heath. You know, it won't affect Bodmin, Ulverston. It won't affect Sturbridge. It's still too high. So this is generally okay. What you don't want is to angle an airfield so that they're taking off or landing directly over a city, because you will just annihilate that city with emissions. So this is going to be a plane now, our first plane line. And let's say this is the Tetford Airport. And this is going to go up to Hayward's Heath Airport. Hayward's plane. And maybe just so that we know that this is a passenger line, we'll say PAX. Yeah, I like that. I'm not going to edit anything. I generally don't edit anything for passenger lines, but now we can go ahead. If we go into passengers, Douglas DC3 holds 10 people. The Yonkers JU52 also holds 10. The Douglas is much faster. And it really doesn't cost that much more. It costs about $100,000 more to operate. So, you know, that's okay. And now I'm just going to pause real quick so that we can get both of these aircraft up here, up in the air roughly at the same time. And now we can go ahead and unpause. And you see our first aircraft. That looks awesome. Our first aircraft here. These are going to be extremely expensive to run. It's probably going to take a little while for the passengers to actually start using this. But I think that they will. I think that we will actually see a pretty decent amount of usage here. And interestingly enough, there's a passenger here that's trying to switch. I guess that's actually a good point. We don't need this Hornsey-Hayward bus route anymore, because they could take the bus to the airport and then switch over and go to Hayward's Heath. So yeah, why don't I actually... Let's actually see what the passengers are doing. No, they're still waiting for the bus. They're not switching over. It's just this one, you know, onesies and twosies that want to switch over. They're still taking the direct. Excuse me, the direct bus route. But this will be cool. We'll watch this, you know, a little bit later. We'll definitely go for a plane ride, you know, at the end of the video. But we'll have to see if passengers actually use this line. So this is our airport line, airport line. These are all the airport lines. No one waiting to go to the airport yet. I don't know. Maybe this is going to be a dead line. No one's going to use it. Who knows? We'll have to let this progress and kind of see how it works. Oh, we got one person from Hayward's Heath that wants to go to the airport. We got 3 people from Hornsey that want to go to the airport. Okay, yeah, so this is going to work. Cool. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Okay. So, what else do we want to do today? The other thing that I wanted to do was incorporate this stone into this construction materials plant and get it up here to Sutton. Sutton right now is only being served with passengers. It's not getting any of the goods that it needs. It's allowing the city to grow. It still has positive growth just from the connection of this rail line. And while I'm actually thinking about it, I'm actually going to add one more train. I had said that I wanted to do that, and I was just waiting for them to get a bit more spaced out. So I'm going to go ahead and add another train onto there, just to improve the frequency. But now this construction, the current traffic situation and traffic jams can slow down urban growth. Maybe we have a traffic jam somewhere that I am not aware of. I'm going to put a terminus cargo station here, I think. 240 meters. I just realized we're going to have an at-grade crossing. Maybe if I angle it, because I don't want it to get too close to the airport. I'm going to see how this works. So if I put this here, and I run the track, let's just go straight ahead for now. Is this too short of a distance to bridge? So if I get this with bus lanes, I connect this in. Is that too aggressive of a bridge? So that's as low as it can get. Alright, so if I build that, and then I delete this road all the way out to that intersection, and maybe delete that a little bit. I'm just trying to get a bit more of a gradual. That looks a lot nicer. And then if we come down here, that also looks a lot nicer. Just go ahead and smooth that out a little bit. And now our lines should be okay. They are. See, our plane just arrived. There is no one waiting for it. Or I guess it's just leaving. There's no one waiting for it. But we should start to see... Go to our bus route. There's no one waiting here. So nobody wants to go up Hayward's Heath. Oh, one person does. From Thetford wants to go up. I don't know. That line could very well just lose us money forever. I would hope not. But it is possible, I guess. Now, if we bring this through, like that, I'm going to want to bridge this also. So I'll pause really quick, back this out, maybe one more. And now if we connect this, just do the same thing that we just did. So if I bring that up, like that, I can even edit some of these bridges. I believe this is a mod that I have downloaded. So maybe we'll go with a blue bridge for this one. And now I just want to back this out a little bit just to get a nice, bit more gradual slope. And then I'll probably do the same here. So maybe we'll back out to there. Bit more gradual slope, smooth it out. Cool. And now we have our rail line running under this bridge. I like that. So I'll go ahead and just start to double this up. Merge in. Cool. A little winding rail line. And now this is going to be a terminus station again, but this time with 2 platforms. Let's see where we want to go. If I line it up maybe like that. How will this look? So if we bring this over and we want to connect this outside track, that looks good. And this will just be a short little shuttle route just to get some stone down here to this this building. Now we'll put a road in like that. Caught in the autosave. Bring it up like that, and then maybe curve it. Curve it in. And now this is connected here. I need to connect this station. So if I put a little road here, connect that in there, and then maybe just run a little road down the side, just for decoration's sake. And now that's connected here. So now we can put a rail line in. And I'm going to need to figure out how to put a train in here. So before I put the train actually onto the line, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to double this up for the line going, bringing the construction materials out. And then we're going to put a cut through. I go like that. And maybe merge like that. And now this is going to need to be a double switch. And now if I bring the track out, put in a rail depot, now that can get onto both of those lines. Cool. So now we need to think about how we're going to get this construction material up here. So let's see, if I follow this to here, and I bring it out using the same bridge. And so we'll do that. Just that way we're utilizing the same bridge. That's an extremely long span. I wish I could put pillars in, like in City Skylines. You can edit some of the pillars, you know, copy them and bring them in. But it doesn't look like we can. I'm going to add in a cargo platform here to bring construction material in. Could have only been 1 track. I think it looks nicer with 2. Personal preference, entirely unnecessary. And now let's go ahead and bring a train out. And let's see, if we ran down the post. What's this going to look like? So that's connected in. We have a bit of a tunnel. I'm fine with that tunnel. It makes sense. It's expensive, but it is what it is. We got terrain to deal with. Make sure we're using the same tunnel. And by the way, if you ever hear me say using the same tunnel, you might kind of get confused as to what I mean. But if you place the track just a hair off, it'll actually make two separate. If I did, I guess I'm not gonna do it here. Let's see if I brought it back to here. If I place this like just a hair off, it won't use the same tunnel. It'll do something weird. So I like to just double check right before I place the track, make sure that it's using the same tunnel as the one that's already there. Just it makes more sense, obviously. And now we'll need a little cross here for these trains to change over. And now we can go ahead and signal. So we want one way, repeating, 400 meter spacing. And that takes us all the way down to here, which is good because we're going to have to do a lot of manual signaling down here. And now we will auto signal from this split. So we want one coming like that. Let's see where that brings us. Brings us right to here. Which is fine. All right, so now I will put the other auto signal maybe here to send it back. So now we got two signals there. And I already auto signaled all the way down there. So now we're going to need to do a lot of manual signaling. So we want a signal before and after every time that this track crosses. And now I'll probably bump this signal out here just so that it lines up with that train. We've got signals there, and now we just want a signal right before and after this these merges. And that should function. That looks good. Cool. So now let's establish some of these lines. So this is Sturbridge. Okay, so it's going to be Sturbridge to Tetford. This is going to be Stone. So this is a rail line. Sturbridge, Tetford, Stone. And I want it to wait for a full load for maybe 60 seconds. Let's go ahead and put a train on that. We don't have diesel yet, so I'll put maybe a BR75. Really good economic. We got the A4. This is a beast train. 90 miles an hour. Great for passengers. This goes up to 75, so we could actually start thinking about using the Flying Scotsman now. We'll come back to that probably in a later episode. What was I doing? Cargo, Stone. That's right. So we've got a 240 meter platform. Maybe I'll start with 150 meter train. Don't need to worry about the maintenance. It's going to be a dark gray. So we'll add that onto that line. And you'll see this is now going to merge across all of these tracks to get onto that line. You'll see here. So it's going to go through its own signal. These signals would stop all trains as this crossed over. And now that's on that line. And now we're going to need another stop from Tetford. Where we go? Up here to Sutton. And we'll make this maybe a dark red because it's a construction materials. And down at Tetford, we want to wait for a full load. We have another electric train. Wait for a full load for maybe 60 seconds. This will be a rail line. from Tetford up to Sutton construction materials. And we're going to need to add a... We're going to need to add some cargo buildings onto that line. So I'll do that here in just a second, just after I get this. So what did we do? We did 150 meter, right? 150 meter train. So if we go up to 149, yeah. Nice dark red. We will give this a high maintenance just because it runs. Stations report the following problems. Passenger stop cannot be used by cargo vehicles. Let's see what we did. Oh, okay. So this is actually going to be... I need to delete this. I need to add cargo. Make sure that this is okay. Yep, so that works. It was using the passenger stop, so now we're good. So now that train should go onto that line. Perfect. And I gave it a high maintenance just because it's running directly adjacent to Sutton. And now the last thing that I think we need to do, we need to configure this, put in a little set of cargo things, whatever you want to call them. And we need to put in a cargo truck stop. So if we go in here, we'll put one platform for now. Maybe right there. Autosave. All right, so if we go into here, cargo. 3. Let's see if this will work. That actually works just fine. That is good. Now we'll connect in here with no bus lanes. Now if we go in here and just smooth that out just a little bit, and you can see that this is now connected to the station. And now we need to figure out where we are dropping this construction material. So it's generally here, so it's a nice short stop. If I loop back down this street, that should work. I don't really want to stop on this road because this is probably going to be a pretty busy road. What if I stop here? Because that's not getting the full catchment. So you might be thinking that this is like not a necessary truck stop, but as this city grows, you know, and the construction material probably spreads down here, this is going to become necessary to do. So what if I go down this way? If I go here, we'll need to make a connection. So let's see, if I put a little bendy street connection in right where this building is. So if I connect in like that, maybe beat me to it. Cool. That should work. And I just realized I'm probably going to need to upgrade this road. Don't know if I can sneak one through now. Might break the whole thing, so let's try this really quick. Can I sneak a 2-lane road with bus lanes right through here? Barely. I will take barely. Get rid of. Let's get rid of. Come on. Let's get rid of that for now. back this out just a little bit. And now let's see if I can... That looks awful. Back that out even more. I bring this to here. Connect in. And now let's add that exit back in. And let's see how this is going to look. So if we come in... Maybe right there. Yeah, that should work for now. And then we'll probably want to go ahead and make some of these, you know, upgrade some of these roads in the future. But for now, this will work fine. Reconnect that. I need to put this road back in. There. And now we can play it again. And that line functions. Okay, so what were we doing? Cargo stop. So they're going to come in. Maybe have them loop around and drop right there. And this could be the darkest red that we've got. This is going to wait for full load forever. This will be a truck route. Where are we? Sutton. Construction materials. It's waiting forever. We need to put that depot back in that we deleted to put that cut through in. So maybe we'll put that there and we'll put... Oh, we got the new trucks. Awesome. Maybe we'll put 3 trucks on this line. Cool. Tons of passengers here. How many passengers do we have on this? Or how many vehicles maybe? 2 more. Should do the trick. Okay, and now let's go find our construction materials train and see if we're loaded up with it. And we are. We're starting to load up. This has got a good amount of stone. How much stone is... Yeah. So this is working. How many passengers? None waiting. 1 on the plane. Excellent. That line is probably hemorrhaging money. How many on this plane? 1. Private plane. I love it. Alright, I mean, we got 5 wanting to go to the airport from Hornsey. We got none from Hayward. I don't know. I just wanted to do that line for fun. None from Tetford. And none from Sturbridge. That's pretty hilarious, honestly. One wanting to go to Sturbridge. Okay, so that was the Tetford. There's our one person. Arabella Johnson took the first plane that we set up. I love it, Arabella. That's great. All right. So now I would love to set up a little, just a little back and forth, a little shuttle train. Here going back and forth. We're coming up kind of towards the end of the episode. So I don't know. Do I want to tackle this right now? Sure. We can start it anyway. Maybe this will be a longer episode. That's okay. So let's put a road into here, and I'm going to make this connection. We're going to get a little circulator that we might have to set up in the next episode. We're gonna punch right through like that, right over here, and then probably upgrade this road. That has to go. Cool. So now we got a little circulator That stop could probably stay, actually. It's pretty convenient where it is. And now let's go ahead. We're going to get a passenger station. I'm going to make this a pass-through, because you never know. We could extend the shuttle maybe down to Market Bosworth, maybe? You never know. This is right on the water. We'll probably line it up right with that crossing. Maybe right there. Now we're going to want to add a stop here at Hayward's Heath. I'm liking maybe these 2 roads. I could use this. I could use these 2. Maybe that'll work. I'm just gonna pause this for a second. Probably go ahead and route this road right into here with no bus lanes. And now we need to make. What does the terrain look like right here? It's actually not bad right here, and then we'll probably have an immediate tunnel right as we punch through. So that's okay. So I'll probably add the road in. We angle it a little bit. Because where are we coming from? We're coming from down there. Maybe angle it even more. This is going to have bus lanes. And now let's see if we can upgrade some of these roads. You can see that this terrain is just awful. So I'll just spend a boatload of money to upgrade that. Man, that's on a hill. I like that. That's one thing I really like about this game, and I think it handles it like a lot better than a game like City Skylines. The terrain in this, or the buildings conform to the terrain really well in this game. I think it ends up with cities that look really cool. I just think that, like, now again, like, sure, some of this is a little extreme, but City Skylines just gets really chunky with some of the stuff that it does to the terrain. You know, and that it's fine. It's just they're 2 totally different, you know, games. City Skylines has a lot more customization when it comes to like customizing the ground level of your city. So, you know, just very different. There's very different styles of games, and I'm just adjusting that so I can get track through here. So now, if we come maybe like that, let's see what would it want to do to get all the way down here. We're gonna have 2 at-grade crossings and a tunnel. Sure. Yeah, we'll do that. And I'm 100% going to delete this road and edit it again. Just because that's a little ridiculous. Ugh. So if you ever have this happen, you have to if I delete this segment, it won't let me delete this one because I have a plus on it. So you have been warned. And now let's try and do something cool with this terrain. So if I put a road maybe like that. Like that, and then coming down the other side. And then I want to loop over here. And I put that bridge in. Bridge pillar collision. Cool. Alright, what if I delete back to there? Hook that in. What does it want to do now? That pillar's really close. If I delete it even further. I don't know. I'm just trying something interesting to see if this would look cool. Completely unnecessary. Pillar's pretty close again, but I'll probably go with it. That. Now if we just smooth this out a little bit. I don't know, I just think that this is kind of looking cool. You can see that it does not like that, so I'll probably back this out even further. And now, what if I cut across maybe like that? Collision. Maybe to there. And I'll probably back that off and smooth that out. Find an interesting. So if I put it there and then I try and bring it down as low as it can go. That looks kind of cool. Now what if I actually this is way more work. I don't even need to make this connection because they have this one. I just think that this is kind of starting to look like a... So if I make that connection like that, and then maybe delete this road back just a little bit, connect it in just to kind of smooth that out a little bit, and then smooth all of this out. Kind of ridiculous, but I think it looks cool, and that works for me. All right. So, man, we were really coming up on the end of the episode here. So I don't know. We might only get, you know, one. Maybe like that. We might only get one of these legs. On here. So now we've got those buses transferring here. So now if I add a line running like that, maybe make it a teal color, and this will be a bus Hayward's bus to train. We can go ahead and get not a ton, maybe 4 buses on this line. Now we can let this play now that I reconnected all this. And this is actually really interesting. They're taking this road to get here. They're taking this road back. What if I put a waypoint like that? So now after Mill Lane, what if I told you to go like this? What would that do? Okay, that's fine. Okay, and now I should probably get a little bus circulator going on down here. So we've already got a stop here. We've got stops on both sides. So if I put a stop right here by the train, that will cover all of that. Maybe one here. Maybe like that. So if we do a bus there, and then there. make this a dark purple. And this will be our... What city are we in? Hornsey. Hornsey bus to train. And now maybe we'll get... Again, maybe four buses on this line. Dark purple. And now once we add this train, we can actually delete that bus route. Which should help. And we're probably only going to get the first leg of this in today, and then we'll add in the rest. Let's see, can I fit... Can fit that in here, and I think that that could look cool. So why don't I go ahead and add the parallel track, and I'll add this in. It really wants to be at the road height, which I don't love. Let's see if I can force it. Go up here. Can. And then we'll come back through and just smooth that out. And now we'll just go ahead and add that in like so. Branch onto there. And now we need to get some signals. I actually need to add the other cross down here. And I actually think I need to... Is this already all electrified? It is. Cool. Alright. So now I need to signal. Signals, auto signal. Yes. It's going to cut itself off right here. That's fine. So if I add one in right after this merge, does that work? It does. It brings us down right here before the switch. That's great. Now I'll turn off auto signal because I want just one here. And then I like to put one right here. Cool. So now that's all signaled up. And now all we need to do is add in a line. And then once we get the trains on this line, that will go ahead and end this episode for today. This is going to be a rail line. Hornsey, not Nornsey. Hornsey to Haywards for now. And let's go ahead and get, I really want to get a train that I think is perfect for something like this. Is one of these multiple unit type trains. It's just going to bounce back and forth. It can go 78, so our track is limited to 75. That's okay. We could upgrade it to the high speed if we want. But for now, this will work. And what is this? This is this teal color. So if we go ahead and get this onto here, and you'll see it's one of these, it's just going to bounce back and forth. It's got a 20 capacity. We can go into this bus line now, actually sell all of these vehicles, and then delete this bus line entirely. And I'm just going to wait maybe until that gets under this little hill. Or, you know what, I'll probably just wait until it gets all the way to the station. And you can see high-speed rail, not necessary here, because it's just reaching 75 now, and it's already almost at the station. So it's going to almost immediately start slowing down. We'll get another of these onto this line. And then this will just bounce back and forth. And you can already see some passengers. Yep, he's gonna, so you can see right here, he's going to hop onto this line, this Hornsey rail line, and he's gonna bounce back and forth on this little train. And I just think these little trains are cool. And, you know, this could probably be a pretty good line. If you remember, we had pretty good traffic going back and forth on that train line or on that bus route. So I would like to see those people that wanted to take that bus really just transfer down here. You can see we've got 5 who are about to hop on. 8. Yeah, I think this is going to work nicely. Bouncing back and forth, and we'll even run it up here to Wadhurst, and then we can get rid of this bus line, and maybe loop it down in here to Market Bosworth. I think that these multiple unit trains are really good for just these short little, express commuter lines. We don't need a huge steam engine like these trains going much further distance. Let's see how these guys are doing. 85. Yeah, they're doing pretty good clearing a lot of these stops. And now, last but not least, is there anybody taking this? So we got 3 down here waiting. That's great. Where's our plane? We got 1 on there. Fantastic. And 1. 3 waiting. I'm really worried to see how much this is losing. So our worst line is absolutely that passenger line. It's losing 700,000. That's okay though. We got some lines that are super profitable that can support that. You know, we got a lot of red lines. A lot of them are bus routes that are kind of commuting in the city. And that's okay. It'll be like that for a little while. This line is going to take a little while to wake up. This construction materials line. You can see that this isn't even bringing a full load of stone. Interestingly enough, this is getting starved for stone. What is going on here? I don't know. This will be something to deal with in the next episode. Let's take a look at why won't we? Oh, it's because I'm already on it. Cool. So, at the end of this episode, this is our first plane, so I'll probably just let this run for a full length of the map. If you guys want to kind of see from a bird's eye view of how this map is progressing. But this is the end of the episode, so thank you guys very much for hanging around. Again, if you like this episode, feel free to check out other episodes in the series. I'm having a lot of fun making it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. If you guys have any suggestions, anything you want me to check out in the game, feel free to let me know. Thanks again, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.